What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us for the Here's the Deal podcast. My name is Dominic. Happy holidays, y'all. Thanksgiving and Christmas are in the air, and we want to say thank you so much for joining us. And when I say us, I don't just refer to myself in a plural form. I mean my friend, my co-host, Kyle's here.
You okay over there?
I dropped my phone.
Little fumble.
Little Thanksgiving Day fumble.
We'll have to talk to the production crew about that.
Yeah.
Edit that out later
I
on.
switch our video feed. So I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this, and then sometimes I do this.
He's a man of many talents.
This right here, and then I do that, and then sometimes just my computer, and then it goes back to us. And I do that because instead of sharing the wealth with other people, all the money that we make, I want it just to be between me and you, 70-30.
I'll take it.
And so it hasn't happened yet, but we're getting close because our friends at Strokes Gained are about to blow up and act like they don't know nobody.
Well,
Hey,
I think they've already blown up in a lot of respects. They're doing
I-
very well.
Listen, they're now on Amazon, so you can
Hey, that's
look
right, I
at
saw that.
Strokes Gained on Amazon. They are jumping in the comments of everybody, including Bryson DeChambeau. Do you know who that is?
I do. Golf.
Have you seen what he's been doing every day?
You told me this the other day. He's trying to make a hole in one at his house.
Over his house. He's
house.
hitting a ball over his house.
Has he made it yet?
He's like 15, 16 days in, and he has not made it. And he only hit, so like day one, he hit one shot. Day two, he hits two shots. Now he's hitting like 16 shots. And I'm
He's
telling
using
you,
like a real golf ball?
over his huge mansion house
Yeah,
with
that's gutsy.
but it's all glass. Like what he's hitting over is completely glass, and it's very scary. And his consistency of just hitting the ball the exact same way is unbelievable to me.
That's why he's one of the best in the world.
Yeah. And
But like I've got little foam golf balls, like practice golf balls, and I've tried to hit them over my house before.
I have
just have
wiffle
fun.
ball ones.
I stand in the front yard and I just practicing getting some loft on my iron shots, my wedge shots.
I don't know
They're the foam, so if it hits off the house, which happens every other swing, it doesn't hurt anything.
I've never done anything like that. And so, because if I'm, you know what I am? I am a guy who will golf like on Easter and Christmas.
It's like a creaster.
Like a creaster.
Creaster golfer.
Creaster golfer, which was my actual nickname
Golfing on
in middle
Christmas.
school.
You have to
What?
go down to Florida for that. A little too cold here.
Yeah, you
in the
can't.
Smokies.
You got to go down to the old Mar-a-Lago and do it there. That is actually what we're going to be talking about today. Is Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. Oh,
Did you know? Fun fact. That somebody recreated from the biblical text the Ark of the Covenant.
no.
Like piece for piece,
Like life-size replica?
Like I mean, a replica of the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
And it was
not
doing
know
a
that.
tour of the United States, and it had to stay one place for 8 months before it's now in Israel right now.
Okay.
Do you know where it stayed for the last 8 months?
I don't know.
Mar-a-Lago.
Ah.
And then Trump won the election.
Boom. Favorite. Oh.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
What up?
Yeah. So thank you, God. And so, no, but we do, it is the holiday season. The holiday season.
And we were just talking about this this week. So
We
church
are-
attendance.
Yes.
In our church, we are bracing in the best way possible for an influx of new visitors.
Yes. During Christmas.
Because it happens every year.
yeah.
Every year. And this is statistically a thing, and that's why there's a whole term for it, but there's the folks who attend church
Christmas and Easter.
for Christmas and Easter, the two major dates on the Christian calendar.
Yeah, and part of that is that you go. I mean, if you go to church, if you're a churchgoer, you see that on Christmas and Easter, your churches are packed, and then every other day of the year they are missing some of those people. And so, I mean, if it's Christmas, Christmas Eve, if it's Easter, if you have 30 people, you'll have 100 people. If you've got 1,000 people, you'll have 2,000 people. And like,
I mean, in our small sample size of a church of 6 years, 3 of those being during COVID, our Easter service has 2 years tripled our average.
Right.
In 2 years, it's doubled our average.
Yeah.
Like as we've gotten more people, we don't triple it every year now, but we doubled it.
Right.
The last 2 years of Easter, we've
That's
doubled
wild.
attendance.
And that's common with other people.
And then it's as simple as, hey, bring a friend with you.
Yeah.
And if every one person brings one friend, that's your doubling.
What if they bring 5 friends each, Kyle? Pentagon.
Can't do that much math.
And so, but all that being said, the holiday season, I mean, Thanksgiving, probably not as much. Like we're about, this is being recorded on Thanksgiving.
Eve.
Thanksgiving dirt.
Yes.
And so, because then tomorrow's Thanksgiving Adam and then Thanksgiving.
Nope.
What's today?
Today's already Tuesday.
Today's Thanksgiving Adam.
Yes. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving Eve.
Oh, okay. And so today's Thanksgiving Adam 2024, and it doesn't affect Thanksgiving, but we are on the precipice. Everything starting Friday morning becomes Christmas.
Yep.
Christmas begins Friday. And we are now making our way towards all the little cantatas.
Children's programs.
Children's programs.
Singing Christmas trees. There are going to be so many Christmas trees to sing in this year.
I mean, there's so many singing trees.
We don't do a Christmas tree.
No, we don't have
Christmas tree.
We don't do that. You know, to be honest, me and my family probably going to go to old First Baptist of Sevierville.
Yeah.
They've got a big one. They've done it great for years. And so they said the greatest thing that ever happened to that, LED lights.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Not nearly as hot.
Yeah.
And so,
but it's cool to sit there and watch it when it's well done. And First Baptist does a great job.
Yeah.
But I've seen other churches as well, like when you get the lights that sync with the music, and it's a cool deal. It's a lot of fun.
I remember we used to go to Knoxville, and the one there at Thompson Bowling, like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, hundreds of people inside. It was massive. And so,
a lot of great opportunities. So yeah, I mean, as the church, what do you do with this then? I mean, obviously we welcome it. We love having new people come in.
Of course.
You know, how should we think about it? Obviously, you know, this time of year, it's also no secret that, I mean, I think people's hearts are just a little more open, a little more receptive, a little softer to the gospel message.
Yeah.
Obviously they're there. Some of them maybe have been drugged by someone, but, for the most part, people this time of year, they're searching. It's dark. It's cold. All those things.
You have seasonal affect disorder or SAD taking place.
Yeah. A lot of people just, and a lot of people it'll just be that as simple as, hey, I grew up, my grandpappy used to take me to church on Christmas, so now I'm going to go to church on Christmas.
Yeah. You know, this is the first Thanksgiving and Christmas without Meredith's grandmother. And so, like, that's a big deal for us. And so, like, it also incorporates that. It's the first time of celebration this way after loss for many people, too. And so there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of blueness in the midst of it.
Yeah. And I think as a church, it's a great way to present the gospel. Obviously, it's a very natural topic anyway. A lot of pastors will pivot towards some sort of sermon series around the birth of Christ. We're jumping into the genealogy. Spoiler alert, if you're hanging around for the next few weeks.
Which is the study of genies, I believe.
Could be.
Yep. We'd start with
Robin Williams,
and then we'd go to Jafar, then Will Smith.
I like it.
And so, and then I Love, or I Dream of.
Hey, and then Genie in a Bottle.
Christina Aguilera. So
I was going to say Jessica Simpson, but it is Christina Aguilera.
And so, but you know, the genealogies, which is the study of the line of Jesus.
Yeah, those names, all those fun names. So anyway, that's what we're kind of talking about. But a lot of people will. It's an opportunity to share the story of the birth of Christ, and obviously, and then Easter. The other end of things is the end of Jesus' life on earth and his sacrifice for us, and death and resurrection. And so that's the other that's Super Bowl of the church world.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just kind of a thing, whether it's, and part of this I feel like it comes from maybe the more non-Protestant traditions, your Catholic traditions. Everybody goes to Christmas Mass or Easter Mass and things like that. It's just kind of, even those who aren't regular church attenders will participate in things like Lent and things like that. Things on the Christian calendar. It's like you can kind of forget about the other 11 months, but when Lent comes around, everybody's got the ashes on their forehead and they're doing
Mark
things.
Wahlberg.
It's like, and it's kind of like I got one foot in the religious world, so I'm giving a nod to God, so to speak. But I mean, I was, you know, part of my intention with this was I wanted to even dive into larger just church attendance things, because overall, we're kind of seeing a drop in church attendance a little bit.
Overall,
it goes both ways. And this is what's weird is I was looking at a study this week that shares that the interesting thing, if you look at the data, is the number of churches saying that they're staying the same over the course of a year is the smallest number it's ever been.
Huh.
But the two highest groups are churches that are growing and then churches are declining. So in other words, it's either like you're one or the other.
Right.
Churches are either growing exponentially or they are declining rapidly.
Wow.
And that was interesting because you think like, oh, they're either growing or maybe they're staying the same. It's like the churches that are reporting that they're staying the same is like very small.
Wow.
And I thought that was interesting. It's like over 50%. It's like 54% say they're growing and 45% say they're declining.
And I would be interested in seeing what group of churches that is, because remember this, that you see your mega churches of, but a majority of the churches in the country are churches of 100 or less.
Yeah. And
they make up, do you know how much they make up?
I don't.
Out of the churches in America that are 100 or less, all together, if you add them all up, they have over 34 million people in them.
Sure.
The greatest, biggest churches we have are super mega churches. If you add all them up, 750,000.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And so I wonder what's growing and what's not. I wonder if like the mega churches are growing because you can go in there and not be seen, and you can just exist. I don't know if it's these country churches that are growing, these smaller churches that are growing, and so.
The study did break down. It's the largest increase is in non-denominational churches. I thought that was just an interesting tidbit. People wanting that, whether it's the break from the quote unquote establishment. Just I want to be free. I don't want the man telling me what to do. So there's just this push. Those churches also tend to be the most seeker sensitive. So maybe that's. They're getting there. Of course, nothing is said to the depth of, the church experience. This is just simply, I'm showing up to church and this is the type of church I'm going to. That's as deep as the study went. But I thought it was interesting in this. So it says in a survey, this was almost 2,000 adults, that 30% of self-identifying Christians attend church on a weekly basis. 30%. That's 3 out of every 10 go to church every week.
God's going to write us a letter. He's going to write America a letter.
And so seldom or never is close to 50%. 43% of Christians attend church seldom or never.
How can we claim that? Like, how can we say, interesting to me. These are Christians, I don't ever go to church?
Yeah.
Like, that's shocking to me. And I'd probably say if we were able to dig down deeper, you have a lot of people who are
Same percentage of Muslims said the same thing.
No. I feel like the Muslims, like our little Muslim friends.
Sample size is a little smaller on that one.
Yeah, I was about to say. And I feel like they still go,
Mormons was the highest attended.
I bet so.
Almost 60% say they attend every single week.
60%?
And half of that is the Protestants. So I'm just sharing the numbers and talking about it.
And I think this time of year, it reminds us, and I think it does for a lot of people. I think the holidays are a reminder for people that church is so good. It's like the gym membership. Like it's near the end of the year and at the beginning of the year, like I'm going to go to the gym. And so you get the gym membership, but you never actually go. But you realize after you've eaten Thanksgiving and Christmas, you need to go.
Yeah.
I think we're doing that too when it comes to church, where we go, oh man, I'm thankful. Oh man, I remember Jesus was born on the cross. He was born and he lived and died so that I could be forgiven. And you know what? I'm going to make some good decisions. Let's start off 2025 right. And then all of a sudden they all taper off by they're already not going on the third
by
Sunday
February.
of the month.
Yeah. No, that's a valid point. Stepping on some toes there with the gym membership, so I felt offended and singled out.
I have a community center membership because I'm part of the community.
Yeah.
But I also think that this is I think it also goes back to some of the things we talked about. I think it was John Piper. You know him.
I do.
John Piper once said, there's a great gulf between we have to go to church even though they're going to kill us or put us in prison. And I don't know. Do you feel like going? Like there's a big gulf between that. And so we're also
again,
talking.
this is largely an American westernized Christianity issue that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, European Christianity is another whole thing because they've got some deep entrenched things where it's almost hard to understand even what you're dealing with when you get into Orthodox churches and things like that. So what we're talking about largely is certainly an American issue, a convenience issue sometimes, or
amenities,
we've talked about this before. I can sit and just watch online church,
right?
That was a part of this study is that since COVID, there are, across this research group, 20% of people answered with, I attend my church solely online. 20%. So 30% don't attend at all, or only once a week.
Yeah.
20% say, I only attend online. That's half the people.
That is such an incredible stat to go, I'd rather just not be a part of the church. And I think that right now we look at what we're about to step foot on. The people that we're going to meet, the first-time guests that are going to be in our churches. And we can look at them and go, oh, there's the Creasters. No use in investing in them because they're just not going to come back. Yeah. But I would also argue that we go, man, maybe this is the year. Maybe, just maybe this is the year the gospel's preached, it gets a hold of their heart, and they realize and their hearts are stirred for the Lord and for his people. And maybe, just maybe we see a slight fractional change in the hearts of people.
And I think the challenge is there for us, if you're in church leadership of any kind, that this is where I think we take the intentionality to not water down our message. Let's give people what we truly believe they need. Like I do think that's a growing trend where folks, they need, or they're seeking authenticity, and they want something that's real. Same type of thing. But I think, because I guess all of this begs the question is, why are people not coming to church?
Right.
And of course, there's some small segment of that'll be, they're entrenched in their sin and they're rebelling against that. But I think a lot of it, I mean, the church has done some pretty stupid stuff. And in the name of trying to be entertaining and relevant, maybe people don't want that.
Maybe they want authentic, and they want
real, and they want authentic.
Yeah, they want power. And
I think you'll see that across generational lines. This newer, younger generation that's coming up, there's a hunger for authenticity and realness, and like we want to get our hands dirty. What is this gospel all about? Jesus was a man who changed people's lives. We want to interact with that Jesus. So I think the message for churches is like, let's not hold back any punches here in the name of maybe offending some of these visitors and not having them come back. Let's give them the gospel message, the good news of Jesus, because the church, remember, is people. It's not a body. It's not a place. And people are messy. They're imperfect, but God died for people.
Right.
Jesus died for people. And so God loves people. God saves people. So people is a messy business. They're imperfect, but that's what the church is. And I think if we keep that in mind in other words, don't alter the mission just because it's Christmas. I think we carry on with all the vigor that we should have the other 11 months of the year as well.
And it's hard to, what you create on an Easter or a Christmas, and then they come in the next week and you're nothing like that.
Right.
Is hard. Like that's really hard. Like, wait a second. You're not doing any of the things you did before.
Yeah, like John Chris has got the funny video of like Easter. He's like, let's get the diversity on the stage, get the free gifts for everybody in the house, and you get the people who look the best up on the stage. And he's just making fun of this fact that we try to make this facade for one Sunday a year, knowing that next Sunday it's going right back to plain Jane boring, and we don't care about people anymore, which is sadly probably really true across a lot of places.
It is. And so as Christians, how do we respond? As this is hopefully a pick-me-up as you're going into your Thanksgiving week and you're getting ready for the holidays. One, man, in the best way that we possibly can, we don't throw judgment and heap shame on the heads of these people. Most of them just don't know. Now, some of them outright reject Jesus and reject his ways, and I mean, that's one thing. But some people just don't know. And so we can be the light of Jesus to the people we're going to be in contact with those at our church, with those who we're going to sit down with at families, for that hard cousin, that hard uncle, all that kind of stuff, that we can be a resource for them in this season and this time.
Yeah, and take the advantage of the opportunity that folks are craving this, over the Thanksgiving dinner table this weekend, invite someone to church who wouldn't normally go, because, chances are they might be more willing to go this time of year than ever before, and you certainly won't know if you don't ask them. So take advantage of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think taking advantage, talking to people, ask them to come, gauging their interest, inviting them to sit with you. People are open. People are more willing than probably ever before to sit down, and especially in this Christmas season. Everything we do. I remember when I lived in China, they had no concept of Jesus being a part of Christmas. They just celebrated it like most everybody else here does.
Right.
And that's hard, because their pagan Christmas looked a lot like their pagan Christmas looked a lot like their like our Christmas, and they would just do it all on. They do it all on just presents and Santa and all this kind of stuff, but it was a really great opportunity to talk about presents, like what is the greatest present you could ever receive. And honestly, this season opened up opportunities to evangelize and tell people about Jesus like never before. So make sure that you guys are taking full advantage of this. The Creasters, those who come on Christmas and Easter, we should love them, and maybe, just maybe, we lead them away from the Creasterton type of living, and they can become more consistent in the body.
Yep. And a word to not get so distracted in the hustle and bustle of the holiday that we lose focus on people, on our mission and the people. Yep.
And you can do that if you're not careful. I know that we got a lot of divorce in my family, got a lot of different Christmases. And a lot of different Thanksgivings, and a lot of traveling from Alabama to here to doing all this kind of stuff. And so making sure that we, you know what, Kyle, that we remember the reason for the season.
It's not that one. That's magical.
What is this one?
Oh,
what is this one? And so our encouragement to you, man, if you're not in church, find a church that loves Jesus. Find a church that will help you walk with Jesus, and make that your home, and join today. Not as a membership to a gym where you will one day get tired of it and go, not for me anymore, but a body, a family to belong to, that you can walk with Jesus with. And I think that's a good thing. Kyle?
Yep. And pray for your church leaders, pray for your pastors, and pray that they would, stay focused on the mission and present Jesus clearly over this next month and every month that follows.
And who knows, maybe it can be the most life-changing Christmas we've ever seen. And so,
because a baby
changes everything.
Signing off.
Okay. And so, all right, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
A happy Thanksgiving. And we love you. Enjoy some good turkey. Enjoy good food with good friends and good family. If you do not have a Thanksgiving spot to go to, you can join Kyle. He will be you're having Thanksgiving at the Cotton Eye Joe, I believe. And so just email Kyle, praise team Kyle at churchofthehighlands.com. And so for everything else that's going on.
That's appropriate?
Yeah, it is.
Appropriate.
It's supposed to just be the outro music. Guys, we love you. We're thankful for you. You really do have a happy Thanksgiving. Check us out. Do all the things, like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. Go check out Strokes Gain. You can check out our personal URL, or you can go check them out on Amazon now. We love you guys. We're thankful for you, and we'll see you next time on the Here's a Deal podcast.